121, it relates to provisions and events after the reporting period. The ask of the question is, what is the accounting entry required by Elish company on 10th February 15? So it is asking for the accounting entry on 10th February 2015 in relation to this provision. Okay, so what are the facts? So this is the question. Now what are the facts? Elish company had a provision, so they already have a provision of 100,000 in its financial statements on 31st December 2014. All right, in relation to an ongoing court case. Okay, so they have a suit here. They have an ongoing court case on 10th February 15. Alice company settled on 10th February 15. They settled the case uh, for 120,000. Okay. Okay, I will change the format to financial. That is important to me. All right. Yep. So 120,000 is the final settlement. Okay. Okay. So they made a provision of 100,000 on 31st December 14. Then 2 months later, or 1 month and 10 days later, on 10th February next year, uh, they incurred 120,000 in actual. Okay. So, what will we do? So, provision is sitting there on 10th, and they are asking that our accounting entry on the settlement date. That's good. So, the journal entry will be, we will debit the provision, okay? Because provision has a credit balance. So, now we will debit it, you know. So, we will debit this provision to write it off. Then the first option, so we have multiple options. So let's write all of these options to understand, So they are saying first is provision debit. Then they are saying also debit the PNL for 20,000. And then they are saying credit cash for 120,000. One thing I am okay on this entry is this 120,000 because cash is going actual. So this I am confident it is right. 100,000 of provision is also being debited. So this also I think is right. I am not sure about this 20,000, what they are saying. So not sure. We will come back to this. Then the second option they are giving us is debit cash. No, it's a big no. I mean, we are not receiving cash, no. So this is completely incorrect. This is incorrect. I mean, we don't even need to consider the second one. So the journal entry we need to tell, this is the first option. This is the second one. Second one is completely incorrect. We don't have to go with it. We will not debit it. All right. What is the third one? Debit expense and credit provision. Wow. Why will we credit provision? Hmm? I mean, we already there is a credit balance in provision of 100,000. We already provided for this provision. So this is also incorrect. I mean, provision, why will we debit it? This is also incorrect. This is incorrect. Don't need to go any further. Fourth, debit provision seems right, but why with 120,000? Why will we debit 120,000 of provision? This is incorrect because the credit balance, on this provision is 100,000, so we'll debit it with 100. This appears to be correct. Then cash is going 120,000. This appears to be a reasonable entry. Only thing we need to discuss is this additional 20,000. So of course it will go to P&L. So practically what happens, we don't, I mean, profit and loss is not an account itself, it has to be an expense. So it will not be directly P&L. It will go to P&L, but with some account name like, legal expenses, or they have settled this case for whatever their liability will be. You can, I mean, there is an expense, so some proper rate of expense would be debited, but ultimately, yeah, it will go to P&L. So this is right. I mean, considering all the options, this first one is the right one. So everything else is correct. Incorrect. Our answer will be this one. Our journal entry will be debit this, and credit cash.